people saying, which I think is bullshit, which she's been asked, like, you were on the chopping block, you were on the verge of getting fired, and here you are. I mean, this is obviously not for a storyline. It's all real. And so I don't know. We're now upset that she's like just coming in hot. Like, if she wasn't, we would be like Kyle last season, where people are like, you're not telling us about Mauricio or Morgan or anything. You want that type of season? I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy. Like I even see a lot of reports online, people saying that Dorit's home is in foreclosure, but
I
you also
saw
see
that.
I mean, there's also reports out there that contradicts that, that's saying no, they're caught up on payments, but the house isn't theirs, that it's investors. And I thought, oh, if that's the case, then they're not really the owners. They just have a couple of investors behind it. Well, then it's not really in foreclosure on their behalf if it is in foreclosure because it's the investors, behind it. But it reminded me a lot of Teresa's situation because Teresa's house is not under her name. It's under an LLC, and Teresa's name is not attached to the LLC. And the money behind that LLC and the purchaser, the person who purchased Teresa's house, that came from Louie's business partner in DMS. So that was kind of like a similarity that I that I noticed between the whole thing with Dorit. But Dorit, I'm here for her in every which way. Like a lot of people are like, she's a social climber. She doesn't really have the money. The house is in foreclosure, this and that. And I just thought, well, and they are saying she's faking it for a storyline, but I just think she's as real as they come. She's really pretty and she's cute. And listen, if she is broke and she's walking in broke in a $25,000 Chanel suit, I mean, the way she puts her outfits together, she's got so much style. I don't really care that she's broke because she's showing up on camera looking amazing. But anyway, I there's a lot to Dorit. I'm so excited for Dorit this season.
I also, I mean, this audience is probably sick of me saying this. It's really neither here nor there, but I actually went to high school with Dorit, believe it or not.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
I did. So it's not like, look, it was a high school. It wasn't like Beverly Hills, but it's not like she grew up. I mean, it was like people were fine. So, I mean, she grew up not destitute. Let's just put it that way. I agree with you. I think, I mean, her out to me, I've always voted her like the best style on Bravo. That's just me. She's just, her style is my style. I agree with you. I think she is just drop dead gorgeous. Yes, okay, she's had some work done, which I guess she doesn't want to admit. And no, she did not have an accent in high school. But here we are, and who cares, right? I think she's
Yeah.
gorgeous, and these outfits are just. I mean, are you shocked? Like from watching Jersey, like this is why when
I
I
am
say like
very shocked.
Teresa's shit is fake, Aiden's shit is fake, Dolores's shit is fake. I mean, Dolores is coming in with a fucking and we'll talk Jersey with a fucking two Birkin bags. I'm sorry. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's just be.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm not being a snob. I
Yeah.
am fine with like the cool little East Village store down the street. That I
Yeah.
just think
I
call it
I
what it
appreciate
is.
it. I appreciate our wealthy housewives walking in with the actual name
Hmm.
brand, not knockoff. And you can just tell right off the bat when they walk in with the fake Chanel, like Teresa at Rails versus what we see Dorit in. I mean, even what she was wearing in Mogul. I mean, it's just dripping
Gorgeous.
in money. Yeah. And she puts it well together. And really quick, speaking of these two, really quick, Kyle and Dorit, I totally understand the pain that Dorit is feeling in regards to what Kyle said on her live about them not really being friends and how she was amplifying it, Dorit, making it more than what it was. I just really do think that Dorit has a genuine reason to be upset with Kyle over that comment because I really do think they were actual friends. I mean, even Erika said it. You guys were closer than I was with her. I mean, so for her to say that, I can see why that's cold. But I really do think Kyle isn't really being forthcoming with the audience in regards to why she's really pissed at Dorit. I think Kyle is more mad at Dorit, not over her saying she picks Kathy over her. Because if you pay attention during that scene when she picks Kathy Hilton over Kyle,
At
she said it in
BravoCon,
a
yeah.
joking, yeah, she said it in a joking manner. So for Kyle
Yes.
to run with that and say that's why she's mad, that makes no sense. But what does make sense is when Dorit showed Kyle's text message, in that text message, it talks Kyle stating that the show is toxic. And I think Kyle, I don't think, I actually know, Kyle is pissed that Dorit showed that, because now Andy and production sees Kyle calling the show toxic. And I think that's what pissed her off. So she's using all these other things as an excuse, like, oh, she picked my sister. I know she showed a text, but the real reason is in that text, she calls the show toxic, and Kyle didn't want that outed. So now she's really going to town on Dorit. But, as we saw in the preview and as we saw in this episode, Dorit is not going to be a doormat.
She's not going to be a doormat. And I can see what you're saying. And right, they're also trying to say it's because of like 2 years ago at the reunion with Lisa Rinna, where Dorit, butt in and tried to have Kathy's back. And Kyle was like, please let me talk to my sister and please don't get involved. They're throwing that in there. And yes, Kyle is saying it's not really what I said, even though I agree with you. It's just that like a friend would never reveal my text. So it's a mess, but it's been building up. And I mean, look, I could see both sides of it, right? I could see why are you revealing my private text on the reunion to Erika when there's cameras? We're friends. We don't do that. And I could also see why are you on an Amazon Live telling people that we're not friends? Like, in what world is that okay? Are you embarrassed of me? I really see both
Yeah,
sides of it. Like, because, in
I
one way,
do.
it's like, I sent you a text story. Like Kyle's really good friends with Faye Resnick, like her real friend. She's like would never do that. So I really see both sides of it. I really don't have a strong
Yeah.
side of
No,
Kyle
I get
versus
it.
Dorit. I just
Yeah,
love
no.
Dorit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here for Dorit being honest and throwing it all out on the table, but I also get what Kyle, where she's coming from. But I mean, at the same time, like Dolores, back to Jersey really quick. Like
Hmm.
Dolores told Jackie at Melissa Gorga's housewarming party, at least Margaret wasn't stupid enough to put it in a text for the whole world to see. So maybe Kyle next time, and she was actually, because then she considered not sending that text message to Dorit because she didn't want it shown. So at least now she's going to be a little more cautious what she sticks in text messages. But yeah, I just
I
think
agree
it
with that.
yeah.
I also love because that one night when I went to Sutton's recently, like whatever, and Kathy was there, and you tweeted that picture, and it caused like an explosion that night. And I've said this before, and this is no shade, like that night, and it was so subtle. I mean, Kathy Hilton was sitting in one area, and it's like, you come to her. It's like Heather Dubrow and Terry. Oh, Heather couldn't wait to go over there. And like, I mean, and it wasn't obnoxious. And I was there, and it like after 10 minutes, because I was talking to Kathy, I'm like, oh my God, she has like 5 people working for her at this party. Like she brought these people with her. They're on her payroll with no shade. It's like one is bringing her drinks, one is doing her social media. And I'm like, when I see this scene, when Dorit shows up at Kathy's house and Kathy is sitting there she has one hand with the smoothie or whatever it is, one person's doing her hair, one person has the facial thing, one person, and I'm like, this woman don't fucking play. That's just how it was that night. It was so subtle. She wasn't being obnoxious. She was lovely to her staff, but I'm like, oh my God, this one is here just to bring her the drinks.
I
This one
want to
is here
see
just, it was so impressive.
I want to see more of Kathy Hill. And I actually asked somebody, what was she drinking? Because I was a little bit curious, right? It's protein, it's got collagen, it's got it all in one.